The NFL was not prepared for what the Buffalo Bills quietly unleashed last season. While most defenses went into each game planning to stop Josh Allen's hot-armed, explosive offense, something else was brewing beneath the surface. Something far more dangerous, far more punishing. The Bills' running game didn't just improve, it became one of the most lethal forces in the league. By the end of the season, Buffalo ranked ninth in total rushing yards with 2,230. But the number that made an impact across the league was their league-leading 32 rushing touchdowns. That wasn't efficiency, it was complete relentless domination. Leading that running attack was James Cook, a player who had entered the league as a promising talent, but by 2024 had become a nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators. Cook didn't just pile up numbers, he dismantled game plans. With 1,009 rushing yards and an impressive 16 rushing touchdowns, he consistently punished defenses that dared to focus solely on Buffalo's aerial attack. But Cook's real weapon wasn't just his running ability, it was his versatility. Defenses were forced to constantly hesitate as Cook added another layer of danger. With 258 receiving yards and 2 more passing touchdowns, was he catching the ball? Was he sliding to the ground? Was it a short gain or a game-winning burst? Linebackers were paralyzed. Safeties were routinely out of position. Cook turned simple plays into highlight reels, proving himself to be one of the most complete offensive weapons in the league. But just when defensive coordinators thought they could focus on Cook, the Bills threw them another problem, one they weren't prepared for. Rookie Ray Davis stepped into the backfield and added a new dimension to Buffalo's offense. Davis brought a different touch, sharp, lateral, quickness, explosiveness, and surprising strength for his size. He racked up 442 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and he also displayed soft hands and precise routes as a receiver, adding 189 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. His ability to exploit small gaps and turn tight spaces into big plays gave Buffalo a 1-2 punch that forced defenses to spread out and take risks, often to no avail. And the nightmare didn't stop there. Even behind Cook and Davis, the depth chart remained lethal. Ty Johnson, often overlooked, stepped up when called upon and delivered crucial performances in key moments. Despite limited touches, Johnson tallied 284 yards on just 18 receptions, adding 3 touchdowns. His explosiveness after the catch turned short routes into chain action plays and kept drives alive when defenses least expected it. What makes this run game even more terrifying isn't just the production, it's the unpredictability. Buffalo's offense can hit defenses in so many ways: power, speed, versatility, and misdirection. Stopping one running back simply paves the way for another. And with offensive coordinator Joe Brady designing increasingly creative running schemes to maximize those weapons, a story quietly brewing on the other side of the offense, and it's much more uncertain that story belongs to Dalton Kincaid, hailed as a first-round gem when the Bills selected him in the 2023 NFL Draft. Kincaid was expected to quickly emerge as Josh Allen's top target, especially after the departure of Stefon Diggs. But as he enters his 3rd NFL season, Kincaid now faces a crucial crossroads that could define the trajectory of his career. In his rookie season, Kincaid showed flashes of brilliance that validated Buffalo's investment. His 73 receptions for 673 yards as a tight end in his first year were highly encouraging. The chemistry with Josh Allen was starting to show. His route running looked polished, and his soft hands allowed him to become a reliable outlet when plays went awry. Many believed 2024 would be his breakout season, but then came the setbacks. The 2024 season was filled with frustration for Kincaid. A nagging knee injury cost him 3 games, while other minor injuries limited his explosiveness. Even when he was active and his numbers reflected that regression, his receptions dropped to just 44 catches for 448 yards. Despite being the second most targeted player on the roster with 75 total targets, his catch percentage dropped dramatically to just 59%, putting him near the bottom of the list of Buffalo skill players with 25 or more targets. NFL analyst and YouTube star Brandon Pererna, known for his massive That's Good Sports channel, made no secret of the fact, highlighting Cade as Buffalo's make-or-break-it player for 2025. Pereira emphasized what many fans now whisper, simply put, you expect more from a first-round tight end. The comparison that stings even more is to Detroit's Sam Laporta, who was drafted just 9 picks after Cade in 2023. Laporta has excelled since then, finishing the 2024 season with 16 more receptions, 278 more yards, and 5 more touchdowns than Cade, a painful reminder of what Buffalo hoped to accomplish when drafting its young tight end. The stakes are even higher now, because the Bills have added new competition. Free agent acquisitions, Joshua Palmer and Elijah Moore, were brought in during the offseason, adding new receiving options and further expanding the target pool. Buffalo's offensive philosophy under coordinator Joe Brady is shifting toward a more even distribution of opportunities, meaning Cade can no longer rely on high-volume targets to stay relevant. Every rep matters. Every drop hurts. Next season represents more than just a statistical bounce for Cade. It's a defining moment. If he can break out and become the reliable, versatile player, Buffalo envisions a tight end who can stretch the middle of the field and consistently win contested catches. He could cement himself as a key pillar in this evolving offense, but if he falters again, the Bills could be forced to